Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with another box. Okay, yeah, I know. And it's Harnoncourt's complete Concertgebouw recordings on Teldec. I mean, so we just did what? The Chamber Orchestra of Europe recordings box. And, oh, God knows how many boxes there are to come. Consensus Musicus is going to be quite a thing, isn't it? So let's see what we have here. Well, there's some rather interesting stuff on these 42 CDs. 42 CDs. I thought he did more. Well, that's okay. 42 CDs is plenty. Let's get through it. First, we got the obligatory little booklet, which contains a track listing, I believe, somewhere in the back. Yes, it does. And it was actually alphabetical by composer. Not alphabetical by composer, but clumped by composer, grouped. They have it here. And, yeah. It's actually sort of divvied up into fairly convenient groups. Yeah, not too many composers. It's Mozart, Chick Corea, and Frederick Goulda, of course. More Mozart. Let's see, what else have we got here? Salieri, a little bit. Haydn, lots of Haydn. Schubert, Strauss, Bruckner, Brahms, Dvořák, and that's it. That's it. And some of it is fabulous. And as always with Harnoncourt, some of it is weird. Ooh, creepy, weird, and strange. So the biggest clump is Mozart. And so we've got, how many CDs of Mozart do we have in here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bazillions. 8 CDs of the 42. No, there's more, 9. We've got operas and oh God, 20. Okay, 20 CDs out of 42. Half is Mozart. Well, that makes our life easier, doesn't it? So let's take a look and see what we got. Oh, getting them out of the box is always so exciting. I remember these. It's funny thinking about when these things all came out in our childhood. No. Okay, here we go. And we are ready. Here it is, the Mozart clump. Now, the Mozart clump consists of lots of symphonies. 40 and 25, 26, 28, and 30, 39 and 29, 31 and 33, 32 and 36 of the Overture to Lucio Silla, 35 and 34, 38, the Prague. Is that the only thing? No. And 41. My goodness, it only has the Prague Symphony on the cover. Goodness gracious. Okay, so those are the symphonies. Now, Harnoncourt did a bunch of these symphonies more than once. And these performances with the Concertgebouw, when they came out, were universally decried, actually, as being weird. And they are weird. They have odd balances. They have strange tempos. He roughs up the music sometimes and slogs through it at other times. They are strange. They are magnificently played. I'm sure that the Concertgebouw never knew what hit him when he made these recordings. I find them still to be strange. You know, I mean, Harnoncourt in his rhetorical mode, with his push me, pull you approach, sometimes to tempo and articulation and trying to get the orchestra to do periody things, which they did. I mean, they did what he told them to. One thing you can say about him is that he got his orchestras to play the music the way he wanted it to be played, the way he wanted it to sound. And the way he wanted it to sound was different. And, you know, either you're into it or you're not into it. I can't even, with a good conscience, recommend it to people who want basic Mozart. You know, for basic Mozart, you're better off if you want modern instruments, you know, with Bruno Walter and Colin Davis and Carl Böhm and Otmar Sweetener, a beautiful series of, you know, all the major symphonies from the 20s on up, in performances that are far more, well, normal. And I know some people just like things because they're different, but difference for its own sake is not a value. Difference in pursuit of musical truth or expressive point, well, that's something else. And it's not always clear when Harnoncourt is being different for difference sake what the musical point is. And that's really just the way I think about it. And you may feel differently, but so these are curious, I think is the best way to put them. They are definitely curious. So then we've got, after the symphonies, the Mozart double concerto with Friedrich Gulda and Chick Corea, and compositions, the Fantasy for Two Pianos by Chick Corea, and Friedrich Gulda's Ping Pong for two pianos. I mean, it's, shall we just say, sui generis. Fun. It's a fun record. I still like it. Then we've got more Friedrich Gulda Mozarts. We've got piano concertos. Let's see, 26 and 23. Again with Gulda. Gulda did excellent Mozart concertos with Claudio Abbado. But when you put Gulda, who was kind of weird, with Harnoncourt, who was kind of weird, doing Mozart in deliberately kind of weird manner, the result is very weird. Very, very weird. So, yeah, that's all I can tell you. Then we've got Così fan tutti. These performances, these operas, complete operas are... well, the Così here features, let's see, who's the cast? We have to go back to the booklet, I think. Here's the booklet. Let's take a look. I mean, they're listed in the front by last names, but I'd much rather give you a full rundown if they have it here. Yes! Here we go. Charlotte Margiono, Dolores Ziegler, Gilles Cachamay, Dion van der Veld, Anna Steiger, and Thomas Hampson doing Così. I find this Così to be mannered in most respects. I really do. I just don't think it has the lightness and wit that the piece requires. The singing is okay. The singing is good. Better, frankly, is Don Giovanni. Here we go. This Don Giovanni is pretty fine with Thomas Hampson and Edita Gruberova, and let's see who else is on it. Wait a minute. Let me give you that. Yes, Thomas Hampson, Robert Hall, Edita Gruberova, Peter Blochwitz, and Laszlo Polgar, and Barbara Bonney, and those people. Roberta Alexander is Donna Elvira. She's an odd Donna Elvira, actually. But it's a good performance. It's exciting. It's intense. It has a great final scene. I mean, the second to final scene where the Don gets sucked down to hell, the Commendatore scene. I've always enjoyed it. I really have. Do I think it's better than the other period instrument Don Giovanni's, like, John Eliot Gardner, who was fabulous, and René Jacob? And no, I don't think so. But it's got the intensity that the piece requires. Then we've got, let's see, Figaro, of course, with a lot of the same people. And Figaro has, this is, there we go, Charlotte Thomas Hampson, Charlotte Margiono, Barbara Bonney, Anton Scharlinger, something like that, Petra Long, Anne Murray, Court Mall, Philip Langridge. It's a very good cast. Really a very, very good cast. And they sing well. And, as usual with Harnoncourt and these things, he's got the drama. He really does. I mean, he hits the big moments. And the ensemble finales are very, very nicely spun out and held together. It's a good Figaro, but there are so many now. Oh my goodness, so many. Now, this is an indisputably terrific record. Thamos, King of Egypt. Really, really wonderful. Incidental music. And it's how much did Mozart write? 42 minutes worth. For a long time, this was like the only Thamos around that you could get easily. And thank goodness, it's a very, very good one. And also lots of fun is this one. Salieri and Mozart. Salieri's little intermezzo, Prima la musica, poi le parole, the contest between music and words in opera, and Der Schauspiel director by Mozart, with, let's see, who's this? Robert Hall, Thomas Hampson, Roberta Alexander, Julia Hamari, then Magna Nador, Christina Locke, Thomas Hampson again, and Harry Vanderkamp. These are good and wonderful, and were hard to find elsewhere, done with that level of sophistication. So those are fine. Now, where else? Next pile. So here's the next pile. The next clump is Haydn. Now, the Haydn stuff we've talked about. In fact, we've talked about it recently because in the random reviews from the overflow room, we've been going through Haydn, which we'll be doing for quite some time. And actually, we're toward the end of it. But the Haydn was like the Mozart. Strange. Some insane tempos, like the minuet number 104. Stuff like that. You know, it really sounded a little bit crazy. But Haydn is more amenable to weird than Mozart is. First of all, because it's less familiar. Second of all, because the music is based less on long-breathed vocal melodies that need to be balanced in a way, than short motives that you can play in a more mosaic-like fashion. And also, Haydn's writing for trumpets and drums and things like that is a lot more vivid than Mozart's. He does more soloistic things and coloristic things. Mozart's orchestration is gorgeous, but it's a blended sonority. Haydn's is not. Everything sticks out. So Harnoncourt's approach works better in Haydn, I think, than it does in the Mozart symphonies. And what you get here is all the London symphonies, plus, I think, 68. Let me see if it's in here. Yeah, that's what you get. All the London symphonies plus 68. I haven't forgotten. Whoa! So that's that. So after Haydn, we have Schubert. Yes, the Schub. So now, Harnoncourt Schubert symphonies are really very good. They were always very good, except for the big one, the great, which is number 8 here, although it's really number 9. We all know that. And that's because he does all the repeats, every single repeat, and he hasn't quite figured out how to do that and keep the music consistently interesting. Otherwise, it's a fine Schubert cycle, and he remade it. So again, there's so much stuff. There's that Berlin Philharmonic released Harnoncourt doing the complete Schubert symphonies, and he's done them a bunch of times. And so, when there's that much duplication of repertoire, if you've got Harnoncourt doing some Schubert, you're fine. You're fine. You need these. If you haven't heard them, they're enjoyable. I think that the Schubert, is aside from that 9th, like I said, which some people really liked. I didn't dislike it. I just found it bloated. It really was. But what can I tell you? So there's that. And then let's do the last clump. Johann Strauss. Oh boy. Johann Strauss waltzes. Well, these are fun. And Harnoncourt did really good Johann Strauss. His tendency to try and be interesting actually is nice in this music, but he doesn't break the rhythmic backbone of it. There's stuff here that you won't have heard before. You've got the Gypsy Baron. You've got the Knödelfänger. What's a Knödelfänger? Now, wait a minute. There we go. Kreuzfidel. It's not Knödelfänger. It's a Kreuzfidel. Leichtes Blut, Tales of the Vienna Woods, the Egyptischer March, Wiener Bonbons, Pizzicato Polka, Unter Donner und Blitz, and the beautiful blue Danube. And it may be the Danube is less blue than purple, but, what the hell? That was exciting. So let me see where this goes. That goes here. No. That goes there. Like that. I think I have these in the right direction. Then we have his Fledermaus. The Fledermaus with Gruberova, Bonney, Halvig, Prochka, and, lots of people like that. Mariana Lepolchek, Waldemar Kment. All these people are in here, and it's very, very enjoyable. It's a good Fledermaus. Like I said, everyone has their favorites. And, Harnoncourt is seldom the favorite in opera recordings. whether due to casting or his own interpretive predilections. But it's fun. It's just fun, and it's all right. Then we got some Bruckner, 3 and 4. 3 is better than 4. The third is exciting. It really is. And which edition is it? It's Novak 1877. Novak, which is good, actually. It's a good edition. It's not the last one. It's all hacked to bits with the finale that barely exists. The fourth is 1878-80. It just says version 1878-80. And it's also good, but a little bit underplayed and lacking. Harnoncourt could be lacking in that romantic, atmospheric charm, which the fourth kind of needs. Then we've got the Brahms piano concertos. Now, his Brahms symphony cycle, remember, was with Berlin, not with these guys. And it was also very strange. I mean, it wasn't very, very compelling in any particular way. But the piano concertos with Buchbinder are slow and powerful. These are wonderful Brahms piano concertos if you accept the tempos. I mean, the first concerto has a first movement that's 24 minutes long. Yeah. They take their time. The second isn't as weird. But with Buchbinder, it was wonderful. It's a very fine Brahms piano concerto cycle. Then we've got the violin concerto and the double concerto with Clemens Hagen playing the cello. Gideon Kramer is, again, the soloist in the violin concerto. And it's actually a fairly zippy performance of both, but nobody's much cotton to these, I think. Kramer particularly is not the most attractively toned soloist, especially here. I mean, this is Harnoncourt willing to uglify the music a little bit. Everybody seems to be willing to do that. That kind of irritates me, and it may do that to you. Then we've got his Dvořák. Now, the Dvořák stuff is terrific. It's really, really one of the best things Harnoncourt did outside of the Baroque stuff. We've got the 7th and the Wild Dove, the 8th and the Noon Witch, the 9th and the Water Goblin, and the Golden Spinning Wheel, and the Piano Concerto with Pierre-Laurent Aimard. So you've got the last 3 symphonies, the 4 urban tone poems, which are fabulously well played, and the Piano Concerto, which is very, very good. These are excellent performances. The only one that's a little bit questionable is the 7th, because it's the most Brahmsian, which means the Harnoncourt's Brahmsian weirdness in the symphonies comes out a little bit. But boy, is he great in 8 and 9. My goodness. And the tone poems are fantastic and colorful, and Harnoncourt just revels in it all. He really does. So that's the box. Here it is, El Boxo. And let's put all this stuff back in the box. Do I have them all right side up, or are they upside down? No, of course not. They're upside down and right side up. Let's see if we do it this way. I can get them all put away. Yes, there we go. So what have we got here? Strange Mozart, interesting Haydn, mostly decent Schubert, some really good Brahms, some less good Brahms, and fantastic Dvořák. That's basically the box. It's some Strauss and a couple Bruckners just for fun. It's one of the more consistent, actually, Harnoncourt boxes overall. Even if you've got 20 discs of Mozart and 3 Mozart operas, you may not need more copies of. And so, if you collect Harnoncourt, I could recommend it. If you've never heard these, I can recommend it. If you've heard some of them, then you probably don't need it. And if you can get some of these smaller boxes from whence this derived, for example, the Dvořák stuff was all in a separate box, and that was worth having. Really worth having. The Schubert cycle was in a separate box. The Haydn stuff, I don't know if it was in twofers. There were other ways to get all this stuff, usually at a fairly inexpensive price. And so I would do that. I would just hesitate to worry about the Mozart because, Mozart just seems to be, asking for trouble when some of these period people get their hands on him. And Harnoncourt was one of those, without a doubt. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.